for now vibes. So we're just gonna deal with that for now because I'm not changing. And that's on late. Anyways, hello everyone. If you're new here, I'm Melanie. If you're not new here, thank you for sticking around because, I haven't posted in 2 weeks, but we're gonna get over that and not talk about it. It doesn't exist, it didn't happen. Okay, so today I forgot what I was gonna talk about, so I'll go into my notes. I really tracked down 2 things on my Artist of Life workbook thingy, my Bobby. And the first thing is how my body feels at the end of the day and how I feel at the end of the day. Some people may say that they're the same thing. I just do it separately. Do it however you feel most comfortable and whatever fits your kind of lifestyle. But what I've noticed was that there were times where I was really low on a particular day or several days, and I didn't understand why. So I journaled it, and then I went to therapy. What I've realized and what I will be talking more about is kind of the pressures that society and even ourselves put on ourselves. And so the first thing is self-doubt. So especially when I was applying for jobs and even some decisions that I made on a day-to-day, it just felt like I kept doubting myself. I kept saying like, I'm not sure if this is the right idea. I'm not sure if this is the right option. I'm not sure if this is the job that I want. I'm not sure if this is what I want to do. A lot of I'm not sure, I think I did the wrong thing, etc., etc. And when we make mistakes, I feel like a lot of the time we just make ourselves feel like we're trash, like we didn't do enough. And I heard from Evelyn from the internet, I think that's what her channel's called. When you make a mistake, most of the time it's just you were doing what you felt was best at that moment with the information that you have. Now you have different information after you went through that experience, and then you can kind of just go about your day and figure something else out. And that's something that I've had to learn between 2019 and moving forward. It's kind of like, yeah, I might have taken these crappy jobs, and yeah, I might have not been the most proactive in certain things, and yeah, I had these super duper high expectations of where I should be and what I should be doing, but I was working with the information that I had at the time. And I think it's harder for us to analyze that because we just want to automatically make ourselves feel like shit. like we didn't do enough, and we start comparing also and just being like, well, look at all these other people, and look, they're the same age as me, and why am I not just as like spectacular and like forward thinking and all that. But I think that we have to constantly remember that no one's perfect, and truly no one knows what they're doing. So there's no pressure in making a mistake, and it's better to just make a decision, see where it takes you, and then on that, if you learn a lesson, you learned it and you move forward. The second thing is knowing your worth. So this is a couple of lanes that it can go towards for me. So the first thing I'll go with is career-wise. I've kind of stated it in previous videos, and I'm very proud of myself for doing so, but I negotiated my pay, and I'm so beyond thankful that I did that, and I'm so beyond thankful that I had the resources and that I looked for the resources to see how other women of color, just women in general, were negotiating their pay. I think that, we get so scared of like, well, am I gonna lose the job? Am I gonna not get the job because I'm asking for more money? But you constantly have to remember that if they want you, they will negotiate. And the fact that they gave you an offer means that they do want you and that you have the upper hand and you can negotiate more pay and other benefits and stuff like that. In terms of relationships, both with friends and with a significant other, you really truly have to know your worth. Especially in your 20s, I feel like weird millennial cycle of like romanticizing toxic relationships, and I never understood that, because why would you want to be in an abusive relationship? But of course, people have different traumas, and that's kind of the main reason why people can get into these very toxic, very dangerous sometimes relationships. And I just hope that moving forward with, guys, I'm sorry about the lighting. Okay, that's better. Moving forward, I hope that as a society, we kind of move away from that toxic relationship and just focus on what we want in a relationship. For me, at least, I don't know. I feel like I had certain friends just because they were in my friend group and I had to be friends with them and I had to keep up with them. I also have friends that I just had around because I knew them for so long and I just built a connection with them, but we no longer had that connection. And I think self-worth is more about really analyzing and remembering who you are at your core and what are your values and what are your morals, and if the people that you surround yourself with, the people that you really care about, align with that. The third thing is hustle culture. So this one is pretty difficult for me also to talk about, just because I am an active participant in hustle culture. Now, I will say that I'm not advocating for that as much, but I do understand, especially working in the city, how enwrapped you can get in trying to be in this hustle culture fantasy where you're like constantly working, constantly burning out, going out to forget, the job that you have and how much you hate your job, putting in all these hours, and it's super duper toxic to just think that you constantly have to be in this like go 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 state. And I definitely have been there. Thankfully, through therapy and meditation, I kind of ground myself back to like not doing that, because I can burn out, and burning out is like the worst thing that can happen. Striving to want to make money and striving to be the best version of yourself and to also influence others in a positive way can have a lot of pressure on you, can have a lot of pressure on you hustling and you making your money and pushing through, regardless of how tired you are or how much work you've put in, but you feel like it's never enough. I used to beat myself up way, way, way more when I didn't finish something or when I tossed something to the side, when I just felt like I wasn't doing enough. And I think at 23, I shouldn't feel like that, but that's the society that we live in. And for me, I try to remember that this is my life. I only have one life, as corny as it sounds. And the only way I'm going to survive and make a living and also be okay with my life is if I just stop the judging. In reality, we have so much things to worry about. Like, why would we also put the pressure on ourselves to judge ourselves? Just, it doesn't make sense, but we still do it. I realize how much even though I say in my head that I'm not comparing, I still do compare myself to these people that seem like they have it all, but they don't. And seem like they have it all together, but they don't. Just because you're in one situation and these other people are in another situation doesn't it doesn't matter. You know, everyone has a different path to go through, and comparing yourself to someone else doesn't make your life any easier. And I think that's what I'm really striving for, is just making my life easier. Like, stress does not make my life easier. Comparing does not make my life easier. Judging does not make my life easier. And with all the deaths that have been happening in this world and with all the tragedies that have been happening, I don't know if me stressing about such a small thing matters. And a lot of the time, you really have to just sit down and think about, like, yes, I might not be able to afford my own house right now, but in a couple of days, does that really matter to me? You know, if I died tomorrow, as morbid as it sounds, would I really be on my deathbed like, damn, I didn't afford my house? Probably not. The 20s are to figure shit out. And it's just a great reminder for me, as well as just like 20 somethings are to figure shit out. It's not necessarily like you have to know your whole life's purpose in the span of this time. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios.